In a suburban semi-detached house, 4 pigs resided. Mummy Pig, a biologist, lived comfortably with her 3 sons, Bob, Bill and Ben. The triplets, now adults, were contemplating a life beyond the confines of their childhood home. They had grown restless, eager for independence, and had been house hunting, deposit and bond in hand. One evening, the boys found themselves in their local pub, nursing pints and discussing how to break the news to their mother. The conversation, lubricated by several rounds of ale, grew heated, leading to an unfortunate arrest and an overnight stay in the cells. The morning brought sobriety and the daunting task of facing their mother. As they trudged home, they drew straws to decide who would deliver the news. Bill once again drew the short straw, much to the amusement of Bob and Ben. The laughter, however, was short-lived. As they neared their house, they saw their mother standing outside, flanked by police officers. "What's happened, Mum?" the 3 brothers chorused, their hangovers momentarily forgotten. Mummy Pig recounted the terrifying tale of a wolf breaking into their home the previous night, stealing the TV, her jewelry and whatever money he could find. She had managed to escape, fleeing through the back door. The boys, shocked and filled with remorse, promised to keep their mother safe. Their laughter and plans for independence seemed trivial now, overshadowed by the reality of their mother's ordeal. Officer Dibble on the scene warned them against taking matters into their own hands, advising them to leave the investigation to the professionals. Despite the officer's words, the 3 little pigs couldn't help but feel responsible. They spent the day patching up the front door and comforting their mother. "We'll look after you, Mum," they promised. But the truth remained, they had news to share. "Mum," Bill interrupted, "we're moving out today. We found a place to rent. It's just around the corner, so we'll see you every day." The departure had begun, but little did they know their journey had just started. Ignoring Officer Dibble's warning against vigilantism, the Pig brothers decide to take matters into their own hooves. And so their investigation begins in the most likely of places, the local pub, a hub for the neighborhood's happenings. With more questions than answers, the brothers approached the sheep bartender, a creature privy to the comings and goings of its patrons. The sheep recounts a recent encounter with a shady wolf who attempted to peddle stolen jewelry. In the world of pigs and sheep, wolves are seldom up to any good, and this wolf was no different. "Herbert," they echo in unison, recognizing the name of the notorious troublemaker. Herbert, a wolf with a sly grin and a sneaky demeanor, was infamous for his lone wolf antics, which were more characteristic of a fox than a wolf. With this revelation, the brothers' mission takes a new direction. They know who their target is, and now they must plan their next move. The remainder of the afternoon is spent huddled around a table, their heads bowed together in hushed conversation. Their plans for revenge take shape, fueled by their love for their mother and their desire for justice. But before they can put their plans into action, they must return home. They must check on their mother, reassure her, and perhaps share a meal with her. Little do they know that this return home will not be the joyful reunion they expect. For now, though, their focus is on Herbert. They have their suspect, and they have their motive. All that's left is to confront the wolf, to make him pay for the fear he instilled in their mother and the chaos he brought into their home. Vigilantism may not be the path Officer Dibble would have them take, but the brothers are determined. They will not stand by while their mother lives in fear. Armed with new information, they make plans to confront Herbert, but first they must return home to check on their mother. The stage is set for a showdown, a clash between 3 pig brothers and a devious wolf. The stakes are high, but so is their resolve. Returning home, the Pig brothers find the house in disarray and their mother missing. A cold dread fills the air, replacing the usual warmth of their childhood home. The door hangs open, a silent invitation to the chaos within. It's as if a tempest has swept through the rooms, leaving behind a sad testament of their once happy home. They split up, their hooves echoing in the empty house as they search for their mother. The eerie silence is shattered when Bob cries out from upstairs. His voice, usually full of laughter, is now filled with a terror that sends chills down their spines. In the bathroom, they find their beloved mother. The sight that greets them is one no child should ever have to see. Their mother lies lifeless on the cold tiled floor. Her body is marred with bite marks, chunks missing, a cruel testament to the violent attack she endured. The bathroom door tells a similar story, kicked in, bearing the brute force of the predator. Overwhelmed by grief, they do the only thing they can. They call the police. Officer Dibble, a towering Doberman, arrives promptly. His face, usually stern, softens at the sight of the grieving brothers. He meticulously combs through the scene, gathering evidence while the brothers stand by, their hearts heavy with the weight of their loss. "Now, boys, I fully understand how upsetting this must be for you," Officer Dibble says, his voice gentle yet firm. "I repeat, leave it to us. I know that you have already been asking questions." The brothers, their faces streaked with tears, nod in agreement. Their previous plans for a mere beating seem insufficient now. Their hearts scream for justice, for retribution. But they promise Officer Dibble they will cease their own investigation. Their hearts heavy with grief, their minds filled with revenge, they step out of their childhood home, their lives forever marred by this tragedy. As they depart from their distraught home, a burning desire for revenge starts to kindle within the Pig brothers. The once happy-go-lucky trio are now consumed by a profound anger and a thirst for justice that cannot be quenched by the mere thought of leaving it to the authorities. The image of their mother, lifeless and desecrated, is etched in their minds, fueling their resolve. A sense of unity engulfs them, their individual identities melting into a single entity of vengeance. They realize that their bond as brothers is more than just shared blood. It's a shared responsibility, a shared destiny. The playful banter that usually filled their conversations is now replaced by a solemn vow. A vow to bring justice to their mother, to their family. Though they know that nothing can bring their mother back, the thought of Herbert the wolf roaming free is a wound that refuses to heal. Their decision is unanimous and resolute. They will not just beat Herbert, they will end his life for the atrocities he committed. As they make this pledge, they can almost feel their mother's spirit guiding them, her love protecting them. It's a feeling that strengthens their resolve, a feeling that gives them the courage to face the storm that lies ahead. They are ready to cross lines they never thought they would, ready to do whatever it takes to ensure that their mother's death is avenged. They remember Officer Dibble's warning about vigilantism, but the thought of Herbert being brought to justice by anyone else but them seems like a distant dream. They know the path they have chosen is perilous. They know the risks, but the call for justice is too loud, too compelling to ignore. With a plan in mind and revenge in their hearts, the Pig brothers are ready to bring justice to their family. The journey ahead is uncertain, but their determination is unwavering. For them, this is more than just revenge. It's a fight for their mother, a fight for justice, a fight for their very identity. As the Pig brothers prepare for their confrontation with Herbert, questions linger in the air. Our three swine siblings, Bob, Bill, and Ben, are now poised on the precipice of a momentous showdown, a confrontation that could very well define the rest of their lives. The air is thick with anticipation as they rally their courage, each brother fueled by a potent cocktail of grief, anger, and the burning desire for justice. Their mother's tragic demise has left a void in their hearts, a void they now seek to fill with the satisfaction of retribution. But what does this retribution entail? What exactly do they have in store for Herbert, the sly wolf who so ruthlessly tore their family apart? Their plan remains shrouded in mystery, a tantalizing puzzle that begs to be solved. As they steel themselves for this final confrontation, one can't help but wonder about the potential consequences of their actions. After all, the path of revenge is a treacherous one, fraught with unforeseen dangers and unexpected twists. Their mother's tragic end serves as a stark reminder of the deadly game they're about to play. She too had run-ins with the cunning wolf, and it cost her dearly. Will the brothers heed this ominous warning, or will they march blindly into the jaws of danger, driven by the blinding rage in their hearts? But perhaps the most pressing question of all is whether they'll be able to set aside their differences and work together as a team. They've squabbled over trivial matters in the past, but this is no minor squabble. This is a battle for justice, a battle that demands unity and unwavering resolve. Can they put their petty differences aside and face their adversary as one? Or will their individual egos get the better of them, leaving them vulnerable to the wily tricks of the ruthless Herbert? Will the Pig brothers succeed in their quest for revenge? Or will they fall into the same trap that claimed their mother's life? Only time will tell.